Buddy, I'm here for some mindful chatter. I'm here for some mindful chatter. I hope y'all are doing well. It's Saturday. I did some errands in the morning, watched a little bit of feeds, I went to sleep. Got up. I got a few more things to do, and I'm interested to see who wins the power veto competition. We've got Will. Who is it? Wow, I forgot already. I forgot the two veto picks, Will and somebody else. But anyways, I'm interested to see if one of the nominees wins and take themselves off. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I don't want Nikki to win. I want Mickey to stay on the block. Whether she goes home or not, it is what it is, but I want her to be on the block come Thursday. And I'm not really so keen on Morgan winning either. Vince, I don't necessarily care. Like, I'm not rooting for him, but I'm not necessarily rooting against him. I think with his gameplay style, it would be miraculous to see him on finale night. And I don't see his type of crash out being anywhere near as entertaining as a Morgan or a Mickey crash out. That's my main reason for wanting the two of them to stay on the block. Yeah, so I think this is going to be an interesting week. We're going to see how everything plays out. We're going to see who makes it to the blockbuster. It's funny because in conversations that I've seen a lot of people having with Rachel, she seems to be emphasizing to them that there's less skill involved in the game than there used to be because, blah, blah, blah. You better get that tested, Devon or Devin, but just not on my channel. Get it tested elsewhere. No Robux. Hi, I hope your comment is better than the last one, because you saw what happened to the last guy. I assume it would be, but they also have a thing that they have about assumptions. Anyways, since it's a quiet comment section, let's chat. Let me figure out my own topic to chat about. Let's see. Oh yes, I know. Boundary setting. Now, there's a couple of things that come to mind. One of them is one of my favorite examples that I always use about boundary setting with my old coworker. We all got hired at the same time at this job, and we all got put in an office together, the three of us. And the chief clinical director at that job was really tough and nasty at times. She would always talking trash and bringing people down and this and that and the other. And I started to realize over some time that one particular coworker got different treatment than the rest of us, in a variety of ways. And I used to think that the treatment that she got was just from preferential treatment, like maybe the boss just liked her better. But then she started to show me the way how she set boundaries with the boss. And I was sitting here like, you can set boundaries with a boss? You don't have to tell me, because nowadays I know that very well. and I do that very well. But there was a time in my life when I was a pushover at work. The boss says jump, and I say how high. Now I'd be like, what am I jumping for? Where does it say in my contract that jumping is required to do my position? Is there a reason for these risks that I have to take? What if I break my ankle? Are y'all gonna cover my physical therapy and my surgery and my emotional distress? You know what I mean? So that's one thing with the boundaries. But another one, I was talking about a friend recently who has an illness that developed since the time I've known this person. And I feel for them, for the illness, right? And because of that, they were able to get me to do a lot of things to assist them. I need help with this. I need help with going to the store to get my medications. I need help with going around and getting my grocery shopping done. I need help with this. I need help with that. Because they were physically not immobile, but less mobile and required assistance with a lot of different things. And I was helping. And, that's the kind of friend that I am. However, I specifically remember when things changed was losing my dad. So when I lost him, I had so much of my own things that I had to take care of. I don't mean with that specifically. It's just like now it became so much harder doing my job because my job is in the mental health field. So imagine having a caseload of 40 people, 30 to 40 people to assist with their various issues, and you barely feel like you can help yourself at that moment. Which somebody in the social work field would probably be like, that's just life as a social worker. But for me, I'm always able to help people, even if I'm not feeling good myself. But in that time period, I was like, I just need to take care of me. So I said I have to find a way to respectfully tell this person I don't have it in me to do as much as I'm doing for you. I wasn't saying that I'm not going to do anything. It was just like it's going to be on a more occasional basis based on what I have available to give. Hey, Ma. Let's see. What else did I miss? Bandcamp is kicking my butt. Thank you, Robux. Yeah, so I decided to tell this person, and I thought about it carefully before I had the conversation. I always tend to think about how might somebody react to this. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to say I don't have the energy for this right now. Instead, the way I'm going to say it is, I would like to continue helping you with this, that, and the other, whatever it was that I was helping with. But at the current moment, I am not able to do this for you. I don't have the capacity to do this for you on a consistent basis like this anymore. And I said, I'm still here. You can still call me whenever you need someone to talk to. But in terms of me like physically taking you different places and assisting you with this and that, I can do those things as needed. I mean, like based on my availability, based on how I'm feeling that day, it's just going to be more of an occasional thing. And the end result of that was getting basically cursed out and eliminated hey, if you're not gonna do that for me, then, or you're a terrible friend, and cut me off. And at first it made me feel bad, just because, like I said, I was about this person's condition. I was saying to myself, I know that they have a medical condition that does indeed limit them to some degree. But then I came to a realization. The medical condition that they have does not mean that I have to be the one that covers all these different areas, and it doesn't make me a bad person. Like, sometimes you just have to be sure of yourself, because people will say things to you that make you question who you are as a person. And that was one of them for me, because as I sat there and I was like, wow, this person doesn't want to be my friend anymore. Was I too harsh? Should I have not said that and taken that off the table? And then I was like, you know what? No, I did the right thing. I made the right call. And the reaction is just like, people don't like when you set boundaries. And especially when you have not set those boundaries before. When you have not set those boundaries prior, and now you start setting them, it makes people upset. That's just the honest truth of the matter. And another example I use is like the dirty shoes in the house analogy. Some people don't let you walk into their house without taking your shoes off. Some people don't care whether you have your shoes on. You're only going to know that. You're only going to know which is which if they tell you. So we've all gone into that person's house. You might be that person, because every time I say this, sometimes people are like, yeah, I'm that person. So we've all had that person. We step into their house and then they're like, hey, take those shoes off. No shoes in my house. And you're like, wow, this person is a little strict. But what do? You take the shoes off. And what happens next time? They might have to remind you again. But after like a time or two, you're probably going to be like, all right, this person does not allow shoes in the crib. And if I don't like that, I have two choices. Well, I have one choice, really. Either I take my shoes off before I enter the house, or I don't enter the house. Those are the two options. Now, if they did it the first time, if they tell you the first time that this is their requirement and their rule, then chances are you're going to be like, I already know what to expect, because they already set the expectation for me. So even if I'm annoyed, it's a different kind of annoyed. I'm annoyed off the bat because they already told me. Now, if I've been coming to their house for 6 months, then all of a sudden they tell me that, I'm like, what's up with that? What's up with this person? They never had a problem before. Maybe they did. Maybe they did have a problem. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so The thing is, yeah, so what I was saying is, if they told me the first time that I entered the house, like, hey, this is my rules for entering my house, whether I like it or not, they told me right away. So I'm either going to be like, huh, this is the person that doesn't allow the shoes on in the house. Or if it really offends me or something, or I really don't like it, I'm going to be like, I don't want to go to this person's house because I don't want to hear this stuff about their stupid no shoe rule. But when you try to establish a boundary that you had never set before, it's usually going to cause contention. Especially if it's something that was habitually being stepped over, like a line that was habitually being crossed. We take our shoes off, but we don't care if other people do that. My mom was like, oh, white carpet? Oh, goodness. White carpet, that's asking for it. I made it, I think. I'm sorry, but some people that have that rule, and my shoes should be kept on. I feel that. Yeah, establishing a boundary that you never set and telling them they can't do something that they always did typically results in contentious conversations. But I always say, I can't even remember what I always say, but the gist of what I'm always getting at is that a hard conversation is worth more than a line that is always crossed. So you have to think to yourself. Sometimes, this happens a lot when I'm talking to my clients, really. They'll tell me about their family member, their parent, whoever it is, their child, whatever person that it is, that constantly does something that bothers them. And I'm like, well, have you spoken to them about it? And they're like, I kind of tried, but it didn't really work out. And so I'm like, we'll try again. Tell them in a very clear and direct way, this is what you're doing and I don't like this and I'm not going to tolerate it. And they're basically like, yeah, but if I tell this person this thing, then they're going to get mad. And I'm like, well, what's the alternative? The alternative is you tell them nothing and you're mad. And you're coming to me and you're like, Mark, I feel upset because of this and this that this person is doing. So if you talk to them, they get angry, but they do it, but they stop doing whatever it is, it's a win. Now, if you talk to them, they understand, they keep doing whatever it is, then you have a consequence for that. The consequence might be your availability. Because I've been in that position a couple times. Yeah, I don't want to step on the dirty floor. That is food for thought. Some houses you would not want to take your shoes off to be in there. People can't walk around in shoes in our house, but you can wear house shoes. Do you provide them these house shoes? Or do they have to have their own supply? Isolaris Labs. This is just a quick visit, but I don't know, man.